Hello, once again. Today I'm going to be doing MGO3 impressions. What I think of the World Premiere. And honestly, it's fucking amazing. It is how MGO should be. Tactical, slow-paced, strategic, with a lot of features to it, a lot of depth. I am extremely pleased with the World Premiere, and it's just the World Premiere, just a less than 4-minute video of gameplay, and some of it's cinematic. In fact, a lot of it's cinematic. There are some concerns I have, but there are a lot of good things that I noticed. Let's start off with the negatives. Rather than the magazine, the porn magazine, to distract players, it is now a plush puppy. If you didn't know, the porn magazine is stupidly overpowered, and now they replace it with something even more unrealistic and more stupid with a plush puppy. So rather than being hot, it's just a cute, essentially. That's all it is. So yeah, the plush puppy, that's gonna replace it. It's not gonna go. I know it's not. They're not gonna fix that. I know it's gonna be in the final game. So yeah, it's gonna be overpowered. I know it's gonna be overpowered. Can't really do anything about that. The next thing is the vehicle. It's not like a vehicle. It's not like a Jeep, like right there. It's a mini Metal Gear. It's the... If you watched the E3 2013 trailer, that's Big Boss jumped into, at the very end of it, he jumped into like a mini Metal Gear with like a small submachine gun. This one is a little bit more armored. It's bipedal, walks on 2 legs. You don't know what bipedal means. And it comes with like an M134 Gatling gun. It's like a mini Gatling gun, essentially. I think it looks like an M134. And it could be overpowered. It definitely could be, because it mows enemies down quite a lot. It rapes them. And there is one way to balance this. Well, there are a couple ways to balance it out. Number one, reduce the amount of Metal Gears. You can only have maybe 1 or 2 at a time, and make them very difficult to find, so they have to be placed in like a secluded location where you would least expect it. And maybe make the thing have less damage, and then I would think it would be pretty balanced. And also make it very weak from the back. Like, it is pretty weak from the back because you can literally jump onto an enemy if they're controlling the mini Metal Gear, whatever it is, whatever it's going to be called. You can literally jump on to the driver and stab him in the throat or like in the sternum, and it'll kill him. I think that should be... I don't know if that should be a skill. I was gonna say, yeah, it should be, but then I'm like, no, it shouldn't. Because you don't want to make it overpowered, so maybe everyone should have the ability to do that. Maybe CQC plus whatever should maybe reduce the time it takes to kill the driver, because it takes quite a bit to kill the driver. Maybe CQC plus should reduce the time it takes to do that. But I think that everyone should be allowed to do it, but CQC plus would just reduce the time it takes to do it. So, yeah, make it very weak from the back. It seems like it's going to be weak from the back because it exposes the driver from the back, and you can also CQC the driver, as I said. And the unique characters, I'm really not going to complain about the unique characters, simply because that they're supposed to be overpowered by default, they're supposed to be OP. So I ain't gonna complain about the unique characters like Big Boss and Ocelot, which I finally wanted to see him in action, and he's there. So yeah, that's about it for all the negatives that I can see. So let's go on to the good things. Customization. It seems pretty extensive, quite extensive, and we only saw a small bit of customization. Like, and also showed in the beginning, like, the player was actually switching between, like, preset characters until he landed on Big Boss. Is that, like, actually gonna be a thing in, like, the game? Like, you can actually switch between different characters in-game, and I think that would be pretty cool. A lot more versatility. It's gonna be a bit more unique if you do that. So you can be ready for any situation. And also, my prayers were answered about, like, the customization. The one thing that I wanted was Ghillie Suit, and it's finally here. It's in game. It was actually in the world premiere, and somehow, if Kojima Productions LA actually came across my video, which I doubt they did, but if they did, thank you so much for putting in Ghillie Suits. I really want to see it, although I would like to see a bit more Ghillie, a bit more foliage. But I'm not gonna complain about that because you brought in the Ghillie Suit, so it's okay, you know. As long as you have the Ghillie Suit, I'm fine. And I honestly think that they're gonna have like a full Ghillie Suit, because if they already have some Ghillie, I'm sure there's gonna be like a full-on Ghillie Suit. I'm sure that they just showed off like some of the basic wrap that you can have on. So yeah, Ghillie Suit, really excited to have that. I'm gonna be rocking that when I'm playing MGO. So yeah, customization, very unique, very good. I'm glad to see it's back in the game. Good thing, Kodak. Kodak is back in the game, and it appears like people have different voices. I think there's gonna be a voice customizer again. So that's another thing to add on to customization. But, you know, talk about Kodak, so it's a separate thing, kind of. So, yeah, I'm glad that's back in the game. Like, you can say thanks, tell people to fan out, spread out, stuff like that. Yeah, so Kodak, it's in the game, you know. I'm glad to see it's in the game, because it has a whole nother level of depth that the game would need. And once again, it's going to be a lot more strategic this time, which I'll get to. So allowing players to coordinate with Kodak, I really like that. What's another good thing? Yeah, well, let's get into it right now. The strategic nature of the game. It's more so paced. It's how MGO should be. It's gonna have some all-out chaos like MGO2 did. I know it's gonna have stuff like that. But either way, it seems to be a lot better in terms of gunplay. It seems to be much more balanced. It's not gonna be like that instant headshot glitch thing, whatever, exploit, whatever you want to call it. It's not gonna be like that, as far as I can tell. Then again, this is just a trailer, so it could change. I'm sure there are some people who are gonna do it. But yeah, it's a lot more strategic, hence the reason it's called Metal Gear Online 3 Tactical Team Operations, Tactical Team. So yeah, it's how MGO should be. It's designed to be played like a stealth game, and I'm glad that they're implementing that into the multiplayer. Something that I really wanted to see, and they're doing it. So yeah. Some of the features that the CQC. Let's go over that. I was gonna say something about some of the features, but then I was like, let's start off with CQC. CQC, essentially, how it should be. Yeah, it's like Ground Zeroes, really. The way that you chokehold people. It's the same if you're doing it against AI. Same way. You can throw people to the floor and stuff like that. But I'm still curious as to how tranq weapons and non-lethal forms of combat will, you know, affect players. Will it just blue the screen out? Will it darken the screen out? What's the deal with that? Is your screen gonna be completely blacked out? I doubt that. That would be ridiculous. But CQC, essentially how it is in Ground Zeroes, and obviously the fan contained essentially the same. So CQC seems pretty cool like that. Still curious as to how non-lethal combats will affect the player. They have the Echo Locator Grenade back. If you don't know what the Echo Locator Grenade is, you essentially throw a grenade, and it just highlights enemies through walls, and marks them. And also, here's another thing, tagging. You can, it's now like, it took a cue from Battlefield there, how you go into binoculars, but it's still like Metal Gear, because you have to go into the binoculars. And then you, like, hover over an enemy, and it marks them. And I'm assuming that it's gonna be like, that every time that you mark a player, it's gonna be enemy sighted, or enemy spotted, or something like that. I think that's how it works now.
On your feet.
So, yeah, marking. I really like how the marking is in the game. I think it adds another level of strategy. But I still think there should be like a stealth perk to prevent this, like some type of stealth thing that helps you, you know, get protected from this in some way. Because I don't like to be tagged all the freaking time, or at least make it temporary. Make it a temporary spot, and then it goes away, which I think will be a fix to it. Just in general, the game seems a lot better than MGO2 in essentially every single way. The game seems a lot more balanced. It seems to have a whole other level of depth. The customization seems on point. It's how it should be. And I'm really excited for it. I was fiddling around here with the auto aim thing. So yeah, MGO3 looks stunning. It looks amazing. I'm really glad to see that Kojima Productions LA didn't ruin it, and they turned it into something much better than I expected. It turned out a lot better than I expected, and it's only a 4-minute, not even 4 minutes, trailer. So, yeah, MGO3 is going to be great, I know it. So, what do you people think of MGO3? Did you watch the trailer? If you didn't, I highly recommend it. If you're any type of Metal Gear fan, you should watch a trailer. It looks very good. I'm sure you guys will be pleased with it. Some aren't, but I know that most of you will. So, yeah. MGO3, ladies and gentlemen, it looks amazing. And I'm glad to see it be much better than MGO2. So, I'd like to say thank you for watching, if you made it this far. And, MGO3, it's gonna be great. What are your thoughts? Leave in the comments section below. And thank you for watching again. Goodbye. You can watch like the rest of the gameplay. It's a little bit short, but here you know.
Heads up.
Maybe Chico's tape can tell you something. What can you hear on it? Take a close listen.